believe in the truth. The truth made me a man. And I raised my son in Israelite customs. I gave him scriptures, but I told him not to teach. He finds an Israelite group, not one West. Starts going to classes with them, and they're staying out late, and I didn't protest. 2 months ago, they tried taking him to their camp spot. They make him buy strong drink, and they try to make him teach. Respectfully, he declined, and he kept his honor. So they beat him like an animal. When I went to the hospital, his nose is broken. His jaw is wired shut. He couldn't even weep through the pain. But I wept. Why did I weep? Because he's the future of my house. A dutiful son. And I will never believe in the truth again. So I go to the Purple Police like a good Israelite. Because these are the men I was bringing to counsel. And they tell me there's nothing they can do because he's an unrepentant Israelite. An unrepentant Israelite. They got raised up that very day. And I stand in the congregation like a fool. So I told my rib for justice. We go to the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA.
So why do you go to them first and don't come to me?
What do you want from me? Tell me anything. Just do what I beg you to do.
What is that? That I cannot do.
I'll give you anything you ask.
We've known each other for many years. And this is the first time you came to me for counsel or help. Can't remember the last time you invited us to your house for a feast day. Even though my wife made your son's last Passover call. Let's be real. You never wanted my friendship. You were afraid to be one West.
I wasn't ready to put on all black.
I understand. But you found peace in the world. And you made money, good money, bought a house, and you went to the fake Israelite group and thought you didn't need us. But now you come to me saying, the bar, give me justice. But you don't even ask for respect or my friendship. You don't even think to call me captain. Instead, you come to the school on a Sabbath day and ask me to unalive for money.
I asked for justice.
That's not justice. Your son is still alive.
Make them suffer then, as he suffers. How much should I pay you?
Ben Israel. Ben Israel. Why do you disrespect me? Don't you know that if you would have came into the school a lot sooner, that the Lord would have destroyed those men that harmed your son? You would have been honorable, man. Your enemies would have been the Lord's enemies, and they would have feared you.
Be my teacher.
Captain.
That's the law. There will be no violence. But if you want to be a trooper, make sure you start wearing all black. That's boots, pants, headband, or scarf. And make sure you pay your tithe.
Okay.
All right? So, also, make sure that you come to the Lord's 55th annual Passover by the I.S.U.P.K. That's in Durham, North Carolina. $200 an adult. Kids are free. All right? With that, shalom.
I believe in the truth. The truth made me a man. And I raised my son in Israelite customs. I gave him scriptures, but I told him not to teach. He finds an Israelite group, not one West. Starts going to classes with them. And they're staying out late. And I didn't protest. 2 months ago, they tried taking him to their camp spot. They make him buy strong drink, and they try to make him teach. Respectfully, he declined, and he kept his honor. So they beat him like an animal. When I went to the hospital, his nose is broken. His jaw's wired shut. He couldn't even weep through the pain. But I wept. Why did I weep? Because he's the future of my house. A dutiful son. And I will never believe in the truth again. So I go to the Purple Police like a good Israelite. Because these are the men I was bringing to counsel. And they tell me there's nothing they can do because he's an unrepentant Israelite. An unrepentant Israelite. They got raised up that very day. And I stand in the congregation like a fool. So I told my rib for justice. We go to the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA.
So why do you go to them first and don't come to me?
What do you want from me? Tell me anything. Just do what I beg you to do.
What is that? That I cannot do.
I will give you anything you ask.
We've known each other for many years. And it's the first time you came to me for counsel or help. Can't remember the last time you invited us to your house for a feast day. Even though my wife made your son's last Passover call. Let's be real. You never wanted my friendship. You were afraid to be one West.
I wasn't ready to put on all black.
I understand. But you found peace in the world. And you made money, good money, bought a house, and you went to the fake Israelite group and thought you didn't need us. But now you come to me saying, the bar, give me justice. But you don't even ask for respect or my friendship. You don't even think to call me captain. Instead, you come to the school on a Sabbath day and ask me to unalive for money.
I asked for justice.
That's not justice. Your son is still alive.
Make them suffer then, as he suffers. How much should I pay you?
Ben Israel. Ben Israel. Why do you disrespect me? Don't you know that if you would have came into the school a lot sooner, that the Lord would have destroyed those men that harmed your son? You would have been honorable, man. Your enemies would have been the Lord's enemies, and they would have feared you.
Be my teacher? Captain.
That's the law. There will be no violence. But if you want to be a trooper, make sure you start wearing all black. That's boots, pants, headband, or scarf. And make sure you pay your time.
Got it.
All right? So, also, make sure that you come to the Lord's 55th annual Passover by the I.S.U.P.K. That's in Durham, North Carolina. $200 an adult. Kids are free. All right? With that, shalom.
I ain't a people pleaser. Huh. Yeah. I ain't a people pleaser. I don't like people either. I don't care if your Nas a jigger ain't wanna meet you. Just give me my motherfucking check if we do a feature. Tell Michael Jordan he can keep his fucking sneakers. Walk inside your favorite church and just drop your preacher. Cause he ain't gonna drop the right shit that he should teach you. But what about Obama? Nigga, I don't like him either. What has he done for us? 6 years or plus. All our leaders only care about in God we trust. But do they trust in God? It's all a facade. See through the mirage, diamonds in the cars. They got $1 million houses, have you seen ours? See, we get mesmerized and fail to recognize that they don't sympathize, cause now they living better lives. Cause they got some money, we see them as demigods. But they'll be sleeping in that same place when that semi-fives. You ain't bigger than me, ain't God, ain't Christ, no father figure to me. You just another nigga to me. We breathe the same air, fuck if you richer than me. Ain't never been iller than me. I got bodies on the track, you ain't no killer to me. You just another nigga to me. We both gonna die one day, you ain't no different than me.
Aiming at them ass-eating pastors, 3-piece suited up, fuck about your status. It's gonna get you oozied up. Kingdom suffer violence while you tiptoe like a burglar. Stuff for ransom in them wallets, handed from the murderer. And you never consider the pope who can't afford shit. Riding under limo tent, hiding like a rodent. Bitches think they so slick, left the people hopeless. Bullets through them decorated speeches, shoot for posts with it in case you have it noticed. Christ the rest of the soldiers, 144,000 ain't bringing no roses. Fuck about you penny chasers, bitch I'm a Henny taster. And I got that thing plenty in it to disintegrate you. After all you Jimmy Bakers, for black ballers, now hold them in them black coffins. Crimes take your crimes, ready to make wars so you hoes just don't have to lay them down.
You ain't bigger than me, ain't God, ain't Christ, no father figure to me. You just another nigga to me. We breathe the same air, fuck if you richer than me. Ain't never been iller than me. I got bodies on the track, you ain't no killer to me. You just another nigga to me. We both gonna die one day, you ain't no different than me. 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 Ain't God, ain't Christ, no father figure to me. You ain't no different than me. You ain't no different than me. You ain't no different than me. We both gonna die one day. You ain't no different than me.
That's right. I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Your damn window. I hope you can tell that the third world's war is at hand and the four horsemen of the apocalypse are on the run. Everything is important now, Akim. Things that you thought didn't matter last year, I pray you understand that they matter. They mean your life and death today. We're going to go into those stories right now. Officer Yediah, where are we at? Let's say the Third World War, the protests and all that. Well, Commander General YAHANNA, you can give me the one about Saucy Santana. That's some poor afflicted brother. You can, if we can play it. Now, if we can't play it, Yediah, you got to tell me. What was the other one? The more social media story. Okay, solid.
Comic-Con, DJ Academics versus Saucy Santana is the wildest beef ever.
Let me give some. Here's Barry Jones. He's in there here tonight. Give Barry Jones a hand. Mac Jones, 63. Star.
Academics struggle to.
In there, y'all. 69. Became the number 5 member of the team. All right. Get it on, Akim and Akwafian. We're going to do a story now about what, Yediah?
Comic-Con, DJ Academics versus Saucy Santana.
Yikes. A lot of this, I don't know if we can play this because Saucy Santana is so vulgar. He's an absolutely vulgar and classless person. And I'm sure you really can't even blame Saucy Santana because he looks like he's been violated by as a child. Saucy Santana has so much pain in his countenance that only comes from deep childhood trauma. And like many people who were traumatized as children, he points his anger at anyone else who dares to try to violate him now. That's what happens so many times. So many times you might see a loud woman. Many of you have interacted with them, right? You see a woman, she's super loud. She's arguing in the Popeyes restaurant about napkins. She's arguing about a straw or her order not getting right in Chick-fil-A. She's fighting over it. Those women have been violated as children. And once you've been violated as a child, when you could not defend yourself, then you become a woman and nobody better short you a napkin in Popeyes. Nobody better deny you a straw at the chicken joint. Now you're going to fight on the principle of everything. Well, so many men who have been violated as children, they become loud-mouth alternative lifestyle men who will scratch you and fight you in a bar over anything. Why? Because they're not children anymore. They're not children, and they refuse to fight their uncle or their stepfather or their Catholic priest, or in most cases, their preacher, their choir director. But they have you, and you're in the bar. And now they can fight you. And you're just a supplement for the man that they refused to fight when they were a child. And that's Saucy Santana. So now DJ Academics dares to be a man that he feels like is disrespecting him. And so this was his response. Now, what did DJ Academics even do, Yediah? How did it start, please?
Khan, it started by, I believe DJ Academics made a comment about the City Girls not doing so well. The album not doing so well. And Saucy Santana took offense to it. DJ Academic said he had to watch what he says because he can get canceled, and he even cried on his live stream on Twitch.
Yeah, that's what was heavy. When DJ Academics, he was crying, my God. Did you see that? DJ Academics said something. Okay, how did it start? He was talking about the City Girls. That's a hip hop group.
Concert.
And he was talking about them, saying that their albums were not selling.
Concert.
So then a sodomite, can I say sodomite or no go?
You pushing it.
A alternative man. He is a friend with the girls, the City Girls.
I would assume so, sir. But he took offense to it.
He took offense to it.
Concert.
All right. He probably takes offense to everything. Once again, when you've been violated as a child, you take offense to everything because there was a time in your life when you did not take offense, and you should have, which is going on to the bigger picture, which I'll explain in 1 minute, Maya.
And I think I read where Saucy used to do makeup, I think for the City Girls or something like that.
He's a makeup artist. Okay. A makeup artist is awful tough now. That's not really a tough profession, but he's awful tough now. Right? So he's a makeup artist for the City Girls. DJ Academic said something the City Girls did not like, or he didn't like. And so now play what Saucy Santana said about DJ Academics. Do you have that? If you can play it. Well, let me tell you what he said, Maya. Saucy Santana is clearly an alternative lifestyle living man. Damn. He's clearly that. He called DJ Academics a gay slur. He called him a gay slur, Maya. Not only did he call DJ Academics a gay slur, he said when he sees DJ Academics, he's going to knock him out and then abuse him in an intimate way.
Sheesh.
He's the alternative man. He called DJ Academics a gay slur, and then said he was going to force DJ Academics into gay relations. I wonder why he chose those things. This is what you have to see about people like Saucy Santana. They're just trying to hurt you the way they were hurt. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters out there, something that you might not notice when you see the DJ Academic Saucy Santana story. The things that he's threatening DJ Academics with happened to him already. Someone already forced him. Someone already called him a gay slur, and someone already forced him into relations with same relations with someone of the same gender already. And now when he gets angry, he's going to do it to you. He's going to do to you what got done to him. That's what people of the alternative lifestyle community. If you love people of the alternative lifestyle community, why don't you speak out more about the fact that you were forced to do this when you were a child? That's what I've never understood. We should have heroes from the alternative lifestyle community speaking out against children being forced into the alternative lifestyle community.
God.
They should speak out against it. Saucy Santana knows that when he was too young to fight Someone forced him. So now that he's old enough to fight, he's going to force you. He's going to force DJ Academics, and he's going to call him a gay slur. That's what the story is. And I'm waiting to hear you alternative lifestyle people to come out and speak about the amount of child forcing that happens in your community. Why is it that Commanding General YAHANNA has to be the only one to do it? It happened to you. It didn't happen to Commanding General YAHANNA. It happened to you. And you still won't step up and say, man, about 90% of us are living this way because our uncles chose this for us. Our preachers chose this for us. When are you going to say that? All you want to do is hurt someone else. That makes you feel better. No problem, we'll do it for you. Saucy Santana was forced as a child into that lifestyle. And now whenever he gets angry enough, he fantasizes about forcing someone else. Anything else? We have comments. Read them to me, all right, or a question. Go ahead.
Kind of one con, sir. We got Just Art in Paint. She said, watching from the mountains. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just Art in Paint also said he is disgusting. All right.
Yeah, he's rough on the stomach. This one here, Maya. He's rough to look at. Yeah. You know, his demons are, on the surface. And it's terrible and disgusting. But just remember, at one time, Saucy Santana was a 6-year-old boy. You got to remember that when it comes to these people. They're men now, and they're vile, and they're trying to be vile now because they're trying to be tough. But they were not tough at 7 years old, at 9 years old. What's the point of all of this? I'll tell you real fast. Never let anyone force you. Never. Don't ever do it. I don't care if you're 7, if you're 6. Let me ask you a question. Let's say you were a 7-year-old boy, and as you were playing outside, and someone tried to pick you up and put you in a car. Would you tell a child, just go with him? Huh? What parent would say that to a child, Mayak? None. What would you tell your child if your child was out playing and someone might come and try to kidnap your child? What would any good parent teach your child? Fight. Fight. Don't get in that car. If he tells you, I'm going to unalive you if you don't get in this car, do not get in the car. If he has a gun, do not get in the car. Fall to the ground, lock yourself around a tree or his legs. Do not get into the car. Everyone teaches their child to never go with someone, no matter what. But why is it when it comes to a child being forced into an intimate encounter, everyone acts like they had no choice? Brother, you better teach your child he has a choice. You better teach your child, if your uncle comes into this room, if I come into this room, if your mother comes into this room, if a preacher, if the president of the United States comes in this room at night and tells you, if you tell anybody, I'm going to unalive you, scream, yell, run, tell. Scream, yell, run, tell. If he says, I'm going to unalive your mother, unalive your brothers and sisters, if you don't keep this secret, do not keep the secret, no matter what. If you have to lose your life, lose it.
Damn right.
But don't lose your honor. Don't lose your integrity. Then now, if you do that, the child will fight as a child, as opposed to being scared as a child and doing whatever the Catholic priest tells him to do, doing whatever the football coach told him to do. Mike Tyson came out recently, brother, and said that he was forced as a boy. Mike Tyson said that. And what did Mike Tyson become? He devoted his life to hurting people until he was in jail for 6 years for forcing a woman into relations. Why in the hell do you think he did that? Huh? Some of you boxing fans out there don't know. Mike Tyson is a convicted forcer of women. Convicted. Yeah, I don't know how he didn't get canceled. But he forced a woman into relations, got convicted, and did 6 years in prison. Why do you think he did that? Because some boxing coach did it to him. And then as he became a man, he had to force people into intimate relations. Let me tell you something. If you're 12, I don't care if you're 7, you fight. You fight. Because if you don't, you're going to force other people when you become a man. You're going to force them into intimate relations, which is what Saucy Santana is doing. You die. You need me. You can read a little more of the story if you need to. So I can.
Because at some point, General, if I'm not mistaken, at some point they take on a demon. They take on a spirit, the spirit of being aggressive like their attacker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In their mind, the demon convinces them, as long as you doing the attacking, ain't nobody gonna never hurt you again. You know what I'm saying? So you start to do just what your abuser did to you when you were 7, like you bought out.
Everybody gets it, right? Next one, or do we have more to read about this?
That's it on that one, sir.
Marah.
If I could, if you in the comments disagreeing with what General Muhammad or General Mayak
Somebody
just said,
in the comments is disagreeing. Somebody is pro child forcing.
Somebody is saucy.
Listen, even you alternative lifestyle people, you can't be pro child relations.
Right.
What are they saying, Marah? Please.
So, like, sir, I'm banning them as we go.
You banning them, okay?
So,
I mean,
but you know, I just had to say, you know, I believe you just said it all. If you going against this, then obviously you for it.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. Okay, unless you just want children to be forced into relations, I can't see how anyone of any persuasion could be for that. But if you're for it, why don't you call in and stand up for it? Stand up for child forcing, if that's what you're into. In the UPK, we're against forcing of children to have relations.
God. And if you're into child forcing, like the general said, type in or call in. We like to understand you.
Yeah, that's
make us understand you a little.
It's academic for us. We're trying to. Speaking of DJ academics, I said that by accident. It's academic. It's like research. We want to understand, how could a person who was hurt as a child, now this person that hurt you as a child has changed the scope of your entire life. And it's not just you outwardly saucy people. A lot of you cops out there, you went through the same thing. A lot of police officers, Maya, they were hurt little children who were hurt by men. And now what do they become as adults? Men who hurt other men. Men who want to throw you on a car and pull your pants down and search you for weapons. These black police officers have been hurt as children. And now they want to hurt someone else. You prison guards, you do the same thing. Now you want to become a prison guard so you can hurt somebody, so you can feel strong. Because there was a time in your life when you felt weak. And now you need to feel strong. And this is so many people. You ever go into an office where someone in the hospital or in the welfare center, you sisters that might be on welfare, and you expect someone to have compassion on you or kindness because of the job that they do. But instead they go, next, who are you? Get in line, get a number. I don't care what you need. They need to hurt someone because someone has hurt them. Now, if you're out there in the chat room and you are for hurting children, listen, explain yourself. Just make us understand it. It's academic to us. Marah.
If I could, sir, just a little insight on one of the people that was saying it. Mm-hmm. This breaking news. I just heard that this cat believes he's Jesus. So if I could, I'll read his actual comments.
Please, go ahead.
First off, this is what he said in response.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "What does talking about it do?" That's one.
I hear you.
Then he said, "Who said I was against it? I sent death angels when I see it."
Okay, thank you, my man. Appreciate you.
He said, "All children are mine." Goodness,
I'm glad you sent some death. I mean, I'm glad you did something, Jesus. Well, listen, Jesus. I understand you got some severe problems.
God.
Now, just to answer Jesus's question, talking about it is the only way that the child can ever receive justice.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, Jesus, if someone broke into Jesus's car tonight, if Jesus doesn't call the police, if Jesus doesn't say anything, then the person who broke into Jesus's car cannot be arrested. So then Jesus has to just lose his laptop that was sitting on the car seat. Talking about a crime is the only way that a person can receive justice from a crime, Jesus. All right? You got more, Maya. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. You stand corrected. He said he's not Jesus, he's Hamashiach.
Oh, Salaki.
And I guess when he read the Bible, he think when the Lord say, "Let the children come unto me," he talking about that other nasty thing, that force thing.
Well, Jesus, were you ever touched as a child? Ask Jesus that. And Jesus, I know you would never lie because you are the Lord and Savior. So just tell the truth about were you touched as a child, Jesus. After that, we get to the next story.
And that's why it's been able to grow in the black and brown community because we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We cover it up and we just keep the kids away from Uncle Ray. You know what I mean? We when Uncle Ray come in, y'all go eat in the other room. You know, we protect Uncle Ray and we keep the kids away from him, and they grow up seeing Uncle Ray every day after being traumatized and violated and getting no justice, and then they grow up, you know,
to be Uncle Ray.
To be Uncle Ray.
The new Uncle Ray.
They grow up to be Uncle Ray.
Go ahead. If the Lord and Savior answers, then let me know. If not, then we'll move on. All right. And you can help him out. All right, with the block. All right. Before he blocks.
Khalil Khan, he said never, and then he said you better do a background check, something like that.
Excuse me, Jesus. Listen, I don't know. He said talking doesn't do any good. That sounds like somebody that has something they don't want to talk about. But you would never lie because you did walk on water and all of that. So I'm going to move on from you, Jesus. All right, and go into the next story. Go ahead, Yadai.
Co-captain charged in Montgomery Riverfront brawl.
Now, ain't this something, Maya? You know about this story, Maya?
I heard about it.
You know who the co-captain is? That's the man that threw the hat in the air.
God.
That's the co-captain. The one that threw the hat in the air. He got arrested. I can't even believe it. I can't even understand it. I should have expected it. Go ahead, you die.
Khalil Khan. Charges have been filed against the riverboat's co-captain more than 3 months after the brawl that grabbed the nation's attention. Online court records show Damian Pickett is charged with third-degree assault. While the details of the charge are not yet known locally, CNN reports it stems from his involvement in a fight with other defendants during the August brawl that was sparked by an argument over a parking spot.
Amazing, Mayak. That brother, play a little bit of the video for those of you that might have forgotten. I mean, that cat, he got a charge, a third-degree assault charge, which once again, all of us out there listening, myself included, we shouldn't have been surprised by this, all right? Down there in Alabama, and if you're wondering, Alabama is no worse or no better than any other principality in America. It's the same thing. They do not want black people even feeling like they could defend themselves. That is what made everyone so angry. The same thing. Look at that, Mayak. Wait, play it one more time.
He just got attacked, and then even after he threw the hat, the oppressor charged him again.
Yeah. Play it from the beginning one more time so I can see how he got. Where was the charge? There he is.
And then 3 of them was just pummeling.
Boom. Now he got hit. He threw the hat in the air.
Get charged again. Hit again.
So what in the hell happened? That man is getting a third-degree assault charge. That man lay on the ground, man. He got a third-degree assault. He got charged.
And what I read was he charged because some Edomite said he never threw a punch, but the captain punched him in the face, hurt his nose or something, hurt his ear.
Well, it's on video, man. I mean, I don't understand it, of course, but I do understand the spirituality of it.
God.
Our oppressor doesn't want you to ever feel empowered to defend yourself. You know that feeling we all felt when we watched it? It was so much better than the police coming and saving him. Yeah. It was so much better than him saying, I'm not trying to hurt you, and waiting for the cops to come. We all love this video because he defended himself, because his friends defended their friend. We all loved it. But the powers that be in this country hated it for the same reason. They do not want any of us to feel empowered to defend ourselves. Give me the story about Joe Biden's granddaughter. Today, Joe Biden's granddaughter was in Washington, D.C. This happened last night. She's going out, going to dinner, having a wonderful white girl time in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C., the crime rate is insane, Mayak. Someone saw her black SUV and tried to carjack her. Joe Biden's granddaughter. You know what happened? The Secret Service people in the car in front of her and behind her jumped out and opened fire on the carjackers, saving the life of Joe Biden's granddaughter. They're heroes now. Our oppressor doesn't want our people to ever be considered heroes. We can't defend ourselves. That's why the Democratic Party, which is what so many black people worship, are a party against self-defense. You've been against self-defense since Martin Luther King had a cockamamie idea he got from Gandhi over there in India to be a non-violent, and when I say non-violent, I mean non-self-defense, where you're not allowed to defend yourself. America loved that platform. They loved the thought of black people being beat. We'll feel so sorry for them, we'll give them rights. As opposed to a black person saying, I'm not going to let you beat me to death. I'll defend myself, because that's not violence. Self-defense is not violence. Show me Joe Biden's daughter, please.
Khan. Secret Service agents protecting Biden's granddaughter opened fire when 3 people tried to break into the SUV.
Play the news coverage if we're allowed to play it.
And what I noticed, General, even the oppressors.
You can't play it.
Even the few oppressors.
No, it was on regular news. It was on CNN. You tell me. I definitely saw it on CNN. I didn't see it on local news, of course.
I think I read it.
Go ahead. Okay, whatever you think you can do, let me know. If not, I got to move on.
Okay. I was gonna say even the oppressors that try to show sympathy for us, you know what I'm saying, being abused and you know being oppressed in America, their sympathy comes from a standpoint of like feel sorry for a hurt dog. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I've seen them on the news say report a story of some injustice, something happened, and they say, it's so sad that we still go through these things. We have to start having the conversation. It's never, ever, ever about getting these people who did this. Yeah. Saying their names. Let's pursue them. Let's get them. Let's bring charges. It's never getting us justice. No. It's just feeling sorry for what happened to us and say we should have a conversation about it. And then they go on to the weather or something like that. But it's never real justice. Like I hear with this whole Israeli Hamas thing, I hear them talking about anti-Semitism and talking about, they call it Islamophobia. They got a term now, Islamophobia, for the people who hate the Muslims. They got names and things for people who are hated, and they do something about it. They got a term to do something about it, but never nothing for us, as long as we've been suffering under the hands of these people. Nothing for us. Slack you.
You're dying.
If I may, sir, with 12 show General Mayaka Allah saying it's so heavy, is that even with like the TikTok tonight, sir, when you were going live, so many people came in like, but what about Gaza? What about what's going on Hamas? It's like, what about what y'all did to us in Indianapolis? And we couldn't get it. I'm sorry. We can't even get it. My bad, sir. It's a lot.
Yeah, let me tell you, the people in Gaza are over there fighting back. All I'm trying to understand is, when is America going to ever empower blacks and Latinos to defend themselves? Yeah. Why is it that we can't defend ourselves? We can't fight back if a mob of white people attack us at a dock. We cannot. We're going to get charged with assault. Back. The people in Gaza are empowered to fight back by the Russians. Empowered to do it. Joe Biden's daughter. The Democrats are anti-guns, Mayak. Anti-guns. But there were plenty of guns to defend Joe Biden's granddaughter. Oh, they fired on those carjackers, brother. Meanwhile, you know how many brothers are in jail simply for owning a gun for self-defense? Because they were caught carrying a gun when they live in a neighborhood that Joe Biden's granddaughter will never go to. And they felt they had to carry a gun because they wanted to defend themselves. Those men have felonies. And now are going to go to jail for it. Not because they did a crime, but because they felt the necessity to carry a firearm because they might get carjacked. And now the Democratic Party is going to say what? You don't believe in anyone having weapons except for the police? Listen, treat us like you treat the Israelis. The Israelis are fully empowered to defend themselves and their synagogues. Treat us like that. Here's your problem with the Palestinian nonsense. Your problem is you want to ask everyone, period, do they defend the Palestinians? The Palestinians are better than black people. They're better than Latinos.
I was going to say, treat us like the Palestinians.
Treat us like we're Palestinians.
We'll take that.
Give him a hand.
They just had a riot. They just had a riot and fought the police and messed up Central Station. I haven't heard one report that called it a riot or what they say when black people protest.
Listen, we could certainly understand the Palestinian struggle more when you begin to treat us the way you treat Palestinians. Empower us. Treat us like we're Israelis. Treat us like we're Palestinians. Empower us to defend ourselves. Instead, the Alabama boat captain got arrested for defending himself. The Palestinians are better than him. They're more free than him. You die. Come. Let's first talk about the I.S.U.P.K down in Indianapolis. Give them a hand. My goodness. I think it's been a week since then, right? The I.S.U.P.K was trending everywhere. I'm sleeping to bed, Mayak. I hear on Saturday Night Live. I hear in Indianapolis, a woman drove her car into an Israelite school. I was asleep. It was everywhere, Mayak. It was on Saturday Night Live. It was on Comedy Central. It was on everything in front of your damn eyes. And it was glorious in my sight. And Captain Kapaj, for those of you brothers that don't know Captain Kapaj, he handled himself with such professionalism and such maturity this week. He had multiple meetings with the FBI, multiple meetings with every news agency, Associated Press, CNN, and MSNBC, and handled himself out with such grace and professionalism. And I was highly impressed with Captain Kapaj, and then jumped on a plane and went to the Dominican Republic, Maya. He's a hard-working captain down there in Indianapolis. Give him a hand, man. He's outstanding. And once again, let that be a sign to you poor brothers and sisters out there that don't feel like you can defend yourselves. The Israelite School of U.P.K can teach you how to live, man. Teach you how to behave, teach you how to have a family, teach you to choose the right kind of woman, and teach you what to do in the time of crisis. Just what you can learn that from us. You can't learn it from your preacher. Your preacher works for your oppressor. Your preacher works for the Israelis. Your preacher works for the Palestinians. He doesn't work for you. All right? You die. I think we're good with that, unless we have a question. You can play this if you want. This is the thing I saw right here.
If I can, it's lucky. Shout out to the trooper over there in the Dominican Republic, roll with Kapash. You know what I'm saying? They say he like the damn near the mayor of the area out there.
Go ahead,
Showed
Trooper.
Kapash a good time. Took care of the brothers. The other brother that rolled with Kapash. You know what I mean? They had a good time down there. They ran into some what are they? Not the Mormons.
Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, the Edomites with the sell all the
Latter-day
food.
Saints.
Latter-day Saints. God.
Or with the Mormons.
The same
I'm pretty
thing,
sure
Mormons?
they're the same.
Okay, good.
Latter-day Saints are the same.
Yeah,
as
that's
the
right.
Mormons.
It was a
Good to go to the trooper out there in the Dominican Republic, man. And once again, the UPK, you handled yourself well through this crisis. Ooh, you were impressive through this entire crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just the beginning, man. You're going to get a good name all throughout this planet. The Christian church has been trying to give the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA a bad name for years. They've been trying to give us a bad name, but your conduct, your grace, your courage, and your mercy is going to give you a good name among your friends and enemies. Well done, One West. Well done. What do you have, you die? Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Oh my God.
An Indiana woman was arrested after she drove her car into a building because she thought it was a, quote, Israel school. Well, that's why they don't let women drive in the Middle East. You don't like it?
And the UPK, we got a sense of humor, man.
Yeah,
that was a good joke. Give him a hand,
few of them
'cause it was a
comedians.
good joke.
God. few of them comedians. The woman said, she said something similar. She talked about it. She said, the only thing I'm sad at, it just proves that women can't drive. You know what I'm saying?
There was another one on Comedy Central. That's the one you reminded me of.
Yeah.
Give me the one on Comedy Central, Marab. She said a good joke. She called us anti-Semitic. It was still a funny joke, Mayak. I didn't mind any of that either. She's not in the truth. I didn't mind that. It was still a funny joke.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, when you get it, let me know. It was Sarah Silverman on Comedy Central. The brother sent it to me.
Okay, God.
It was still a good joke.
Sure was.
Forget about that. Over the years' time, you can find the I.S.U.P.K or depictions of the I.S.U.P.K on Barack Obama's movie. They did a movie about Barack Obama on Netflix. Where they showed a camp of the I.S.U.P.K. showing that Barack Obama, when he was in New York and in Chicago, ran into our camps where we called the white woman a dog, which is One West doctrine. And Barack Obama told the story of how he ran across our camp, which is mind-blowing to me, Maya. You know what that means? Some brothers back in the 80s, Barack Obama was at their camp as a young man. And they were calling a white woman a dog in front of the future president, and they did not know it. They didn't know. To them, this was just some cat, and he's in the crowd. And they're just dropping the words of Christ that people today might think are racist, but it's not racist at all. It's Jesus Christ showing love for the people who are oppressed by those dogs. And Barack Obama was in the crowd.
Right.
And it's in his memoir. It's in his biography. And then they went to make a movie about his life, and the I.S.U.P.K was in the movie. Give me that in Barack Obama's movie.
Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang story.
Clan.
We up in their covers and everything.
Oh my goodness!
You know what I mean?
In our covers, the RZA, Jizza, Mizza, and the Gizza. All positions.
The chef, the baker, everybody.
The chef, the baker, the candlestick maker. They were all around. And as far as we know back then, these are just young simpletons, half Muslims.
That's it. Half Muslim.
Right.
Crescent Star
Crescent
worshipers.
Star, half a Muslim. We cut them and move on like anybody else. Come to find out, these are the chefs and the Raekwons and the Pookwons and all of the people in the Wu-Tang clan. The whole clan. And once again, which just shows out there, you're doing your job. You're doing it, and you're long-suffering, and you're patient, and you have courage even when the world doesn't agree with you, knowing that later on, they will have no choice but to agree. All right, if you have it, you might need the Israelites and Barack Obama's movie. It was all over the damn place, all right? I'll keep moving on until you can get it, all right? It was on Netflix. Keep going.
when it actually happened.
This is when it actually happened, right? Take it down. This some ridiculousness. Brother sent me tapes this week of that Barack Obama movie. But they got the Israelites in the movie. And I'm reading the title where someone says, look at them talking about the Israelites in a Barack Obama movie.
Heard them say, come on, let's hurry up, get out of here for them niggas come.
Unlawful. You cannot wear a shield. They done made wearing garments unlawful. You gotta all wear purple. You gotta wear white. Where we at right now? You gonna catch up to? Come on, Maya. Now that's every Hebrew Israelite group. Right. That's look at the stick in the damn hand and how it still has to this day. I take that stick to damn near every camp. That's the name of the movie, Barry. You go look it up, Barry, Hebrew Israelites in the movie Barry. You'll see it. It's all over the place. You did your work and you stuck in here. And you stayed in here and you had courage, man. There's some ridiculousness. The whole world is going to reward you for your courage. And then in the end, our king will place crowns on your head. Well done, I.S.U.P.K. Well done. Keep going, you die. Say again. Let's go to Keke Palmer. Let's do that.
Khan.
Keke Palmer, Maya.
I got the one in Wu-Tang. How can I send it to you?
Yeah, you'll get him so he can play him as we go. Just get him all to morale. We'll play him, all right? Let's talk about Keke Palmer. Now, let me give you some background. Jesus, are you out there listening? I know you already know. You know all things. Jesus. But for the people who are not Jesus, Keke Palmer, it was a while ago when she was at a concert kissing Usher in the mouth. Now, why is that terrible? I'll tell you why. One, she had a man at the time. Two, she had a child at the time. Three, Usher is an alternative lifestyle man. Yediah, why do people consider Usher some ladies' man? Please tell me, young brother, say your name again. Mathumya. Were you aware that Usher, the singer, was an alternative lifestyle man? Were you aware from being in the U.P.K. or were you aware from just common knowledge? You see, that's what I don't understand. You too, Nabal. Why do people in the world talk about Usher like he's some ladies' man? Usher was sued for giving a man, Jesus Christ, for giving two men a venereal disease. Two of them. And it wasn't on their lips, Maya. Yeah, deal with that. Yeah, throw up on that. No. He gave them, they performed oral sex on each other. And he gave them a venereal disease. Herpes. You heard of that one. Can I say herpes on here? No, a venereal disease. But yet, every time I turn my phone on, it's like Usher is loving. He's a ladies' man now. Usher got a venereal disease. He gave it to two men. The two men sued him. They sued him over it because he gave two men a venereal disease. Usher likes male genitalia. That's what he enjoys. That's his preference. That's what Usher likes. He likes male genitalia. He's not a ladies' man. What the F is wrong with you? You don't have the internet? You don't Google anything? Well, Keke Palmer was kissing him in the mouth. And she has a baby that she's going to kiss in the mouth. And give that baby Usher's venereal disease that he got from a man. Well, that's what makes all this very nasty, Mayak. You understand, right? Yeah. That happened. Keke Palmer's husband was angry with her. I, of course, gave Keke Palmer's husband wise counsel, Mayak, from my point of view, from the job that I do for Commanding General YAHANNA, that he should not worry about her leaving him. He should let her leave him, and he should put her on child support and get custody of the child. He's not in the U.P.K. He doesn't listen to me like none of you do. Like none of you listen to a goddamn word that I have to say. That's your right. You know, it's just advice, my no problem. Well, what happened this week, Yediah?
Keke Palmer obtains restraining order against son's father after alleging domestic violence.
I just remembered why this story is so good and why it's so big. Can I see the video, please? If we can play it. Keke Palmer put this video, oh my God, it was coming out the walls. It was like the Palestinian crisis. It was coming out the walls of Keke Palmer's man, whooping her, giving her a stern whooping, beating this woman, and now she's using this footage to do what? To do to him what I told him he should do to her. Now it's too late. She's using this footage to get custody of the child, which is what she is going to get, and to freeze him out and to put that poor brother who works at LA Fitness, to put him on child support. And that's what's going to happen, okay? Because he did not understand that young men need fathers. That's what young men need. Play the story and then I'll go on from there. If I turn the heat down here and let somebody else's cold up, do what? Just clip it, all right?
Shocking allegation.
Shocking, Maya. Kissing that alternative lifestyle man in the mouth. That was not shocking. Yeah. That was normal, average, everyday kissing. But this is shocking, Maya. Keep going. I can only play like certain still shots. Do your thing. Do what you can do. This is on a big, wide news channel. You can't play this?
So I wouldn't want to change certain things.
No, this is, I don't know. Go ahead. You done?
The actual footage hasn't actually been released. Her mother made a video about her talking about
but
it.
We can't even play this right here.
Live.
Strict out here, man.
Where's that part where I saw a picture over the couch?
Can we read it? Can I just read the story?
Come on, sir. Keke Palmer has been granted temporary.
Right there. Just give me that. Give me that right there. Just freeze that up on the screen while you read. Make it a little bigger for me, so I can see it. I gotta clean my glasses. You hand me a napkin, please. Keke Palmer. She don't have that wig on right there, man. The brother got her upside down, like in a Ric Flair style. Suplex. This is the Jimmy Fly Superfly Snooker. For those of you that know, this is the Jimmy Superfly Snooker submission. I think he's getting into the Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
The DDT, man. You don't know what that is, young brother. He getting her in the DDT.
Oh, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Randy Savage. You're about to go to the top rope, man, on the whole thing. Lord be with the poor sister.
Do a snooker.
But I think that brother is going to the top rope. Okay. Somebody on the side waiting to get tagged in. They're waiting to come in and finish her off. Poor girl. Listen, that's her right there. All right. Go ahead, you done.
Sir. Keke Palmer has been granted a temporary restraining order against former partner Darius Jackson after she alleged in court documents that he repeatedly abused her during their 2-year relationship. A Los Angeles Superior Court judge approved the Palmer's request for a restraining order, which she filed earlier in the day, which will be effective until a court hearing scheduled for December, according to court filing by USA Today.
Well, she's going to take that footage down to the courts, Akim, and get everything she wants.
And that's just a house camera I'm seeing.
That's the house camera in the house to record everything that happens in that house. Mm-hmm. She'll take that down to the court and get everything she wants to get. She'll get custody. She'll put him on child support. He'll be going to LA Fitness, trying to rub up on women to get, to become their trainer. And he'll be in jail. And that'll be that. All right. Now, why is this an important story for you brothers and sisters at home? Now, focus in now because you're not bright. Now, listen carefully. All right. I'm going to try to help you now. This brother tried to stay with a woman that is help me out.
Promiscuous.
That is a promiscuous woman. I've counseled many men through my time of serving for Commanding General YAHANNA in the position of being a counselor. Many years. You understand, right?
Got it one car.
You cannot biblically or logically, stay with a woman who has cheated on you. You cannot do that. So many of you, for the sake of the child or for the sake of love, will try to stay with a woman who has cheated on you. You cannot handle that kind of offense. You cannot do it. So many brothers, Yediah, try. They try. They go, well, this is the logic, Maya. Well, she cheated on me, but I cheated on her too. I did wrong things. I want to keep my family together. Here's the Salakia. Yeah, we're just going over the Keke Palmer story. We saved the Third World War. If you want to get down on it. Yeah, that's right. I'll give it a second. Keke Palmer, remember her? She had the whole. She was kissing Usher up on the mouth and all that, right? Yeah. Go ahead. Please get it on.
I believe in the truth. The truth made me a man. And I raised my son in Israelite customs. I gave him scriptures, but I told him not to teach. He finds an Israelite group, not one West. Starts going to classes with them. And they're staying out late. And I didn't protest. 2 months ago, they tried taking him to their camp spot. They make him buy strong drink, and they try to make him teach. Respectfully, he declined, and he kept his honor. So they beat him like an animal. When I went to the hospital, his nose is broken. His jaw's wired shut. He couldn't even weep through the pain. But I wept. Why did I weep? Because he's the future of my house. A dutiful son. And I will never believe in the truth again. So I go to the Purple Police like a good Israelite. Because these are the men I was bringing to counsel. And they tell me there's nothing they can do because he's an unrepentant Israelite. An unrepentant Israelite. They got raised up that very day. And I stand in the congregation like a fool. So I told my rib for justice. We go to the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA.
So why do you go to them first and don't come to me?
What do you want from me? Tell me anything. Just do what I beg you to do.
What is that?
Wrap it up. Give it up. Passover. 55th annual Passover. Get it on. Pay the $200. All access to everything. All right. You want to do it first? Yediah. Let me just show Commander General YAHANNA with Usher's story about Usher with the two men that he gave venereal diseases to. All right. The brother tried to stay with her through all of this. He tried to be with her. He wanted to keep his family together. All right. Later on, of course, now they go. She takes video of him putting her in a sleeper hold down to the court and gets custody of
Shocking.
restraining order, everything from the court because he tried to stay with her. It's that same brother we was doing those stories over.
More issues.
Now look at him now. Now look at that. This the footage is going down to the court right here. Him right there. And of course, you know, she's telling the court it's been happening forever. Right?
That's him over the top of her.
That's him over the top rope coming down on top of her right there. Kablam.
They wrote the arrow to it and all that.
The arrow. That's what the judge is getting. That's Keke Palmer. That's him. They got some other footage I saw as well, some still shots. That's him. She brung this down to the court. Got the restraining order, getting everything that she wants to get on this cat here. Yeah. This is the same brother that, of course, everybody was hating the UPK when I counseled him to put her on child support and to get rid of her. Oh, I was the evilest nigga alive, Commander General YAHANNA, for saying that. Well, she's going to do it to him now. And now she has all the proof, all the evidence that she needs to achieve her goal in court. Now, why does this matter to any of us? This is the problems of rich people, which really have nothing to do with us. This is not our life. And I know most of you care about what happens to rich people because your own lives are so mundane that you have to live vicariously through people in a higher class. This means nothing to you, all right? This is nothing. But here's what does matter to you, and here's how this will apply to you. According to the Bible and according to good common sense, never stay with a woman who has cheated on you. Never do that, but run to stay out while y'all was shot. You cannot, Akim. I know you want to. I'll give you 3 reasons why you want to. The last one being the biggest one to you. 1, you love her. And, you know, love conquers everything, doesn't it? When you love somebody, listen, I saw the movie. Love is the most important thing. Love has to be what? Unconditional. You unconditionally love her. So you have to stay with her. What's the second reason? You cheated on her too. You did this to her. So as you start to want to leave her for cheating on you, you think, damn, I was really in them strip clubs and tearing up them hoes sometime in the same bed that we sleep in. Then you think, I gotta forgive her. I gotta forgive her. I forgot, Mayak. It's 4 reasons. The third reason is we have a child together. The third and the fourth is similar to the same, Mayak and Oz. We have a child together. And here's the biggest reason. Are you ready? I do not want to be like my father. I don't want to raise my children in a separate home, and me and my children's mother are not together. So she cheated on me. She was with Usher. Keke Palmer looks like she has a terrible, can I say the word, the thing that goes up your nose? She does. Yeah, I know that. Can I say it? Damn. She has a substance abuse problem up the nose. Up the nose. I mean, it's terrible, right? It's like it's coming off of her like she's glowing in the dark. That this woman puts all of the substances in her nose, right? Can you imagine how much cheating this cat has had to deal with? How many late night parties with that old nasty Puff Diddy? And with all of the rappers, everybody. Can I get Usher's history up here real fast for Commander General YAHANNA?
Let me add something to you,
Please,
if I could. Like, this is something that goes on in so many households when you're trying your best to try to have a family and bring a family together and make your family work, trying to do, what is humanly normal, which is to, get married, have children, so forth and so on. But what you got to learn is extreme discipline if you go and get a woman, because women will provoke you to violence. And that violence is a loss to every brother. I wish you could smack upside the head every time you wanted to, but you can't, because you end up like him. Like, he could be totally right. Like right now, we don't know who's really right. Maybe she's decent and right, and he's a sociopath. Who knows? Maybe she's just a nasty, stinking whore, like she looked like in front of Usher, or maybe that was a performance and it was all fake, like any actress would with a movie. Who the hell knows? But that violence that he took on out of his anger tells the judge one thing: that you are the aggressor, you are the criminal, you are the wrong one. And this world, the Lord is about to destroy it. The last thing you need is to be locked in a cage or in some situation where you can no longer do the work of the Lord. Yeah, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Try your best to pick a rib that you don't have to go there with. Getting a woman in Hollywood, I mean, unless you was with her before she went to Hollywood, it's real hard to, get a decent rib in Hollywood that hasn't been torn apart, because the psychological warfare they do on them broads up there is ridiculous anyway. Only the broads with a good husband can really maintain their mind. And I think she was a child actress, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? Yes, sir. Yeah. Wasn't she part of them, one of them, the Mouseketeers or the Disney Club or one of them little, she was like a child actress. Yeah. Go ahead. I thought you were about to say something. And so whatever it is that she was into, you could imagine the pressure on her, the pressure on her family. You could imagine them separating from her, all the madness that made her become whatever it is that she is today. And you talking about a big recipe of disaster. So if you're a brother out there, man, the lesson to gain from this is, do I have control of my situation? Or am I going to just carnally get violent and harm some broad because of the evil she's doing and get myself derailed? And derailed now is the worst time, especially for soldiers up in this truth. You seeing all this going on in the world, all this beauty going on. Temper yourself, man. Temper yourself. Examine who you with. Good lesson Muhammad always teaches in the classes. All the generals teach this, and that is to pick the right woman in the beginning. Try to get that sister, man, that was willing to work with you. Talk to her before. A lot of you want to jump on her so fast, and I understand that. You want to tear that meat apart because that's what you used to. But you might tear yourself into a horrible, horrible situation. So try to be strong. Try to be. She's going to respect you more anyway. She's going to respect you when you come to her the right way. And then she's going to work with you and walk with you. And then when you see you got you a jewel, like the scripture said, she's above rubies. Now you got something. You got somebody, like just like the scripture said, a woman onto thy, how's it go? Onto thyself. Like onto thyself. Boy, that's a heavy line. You want a woman that's like you. She think like you. She work with you. Y'all work together. Your goals are set. You want to get into that zone with her, man. She like what you into. You like what she into because it's right things. You understand? You want that. You don't want you trying to swim uphill if you trying to get a broad that been half naked before the world most of her life, and now you trying to get her to be a domestic wife. You got a rough call. You better know what you're doing before you step out into that arena. You know what I'm saying? Same when you in the street. The same thing applies. You in the street, you know what kind of woman you talking to when you roll up on her. Yep. You ain't gonna be that much off once the conversation starts. So try to make the conversation with the right ones, and then get into that stream. And look, if I could add something else too while we're talking about this real quick. Another thing about that thing. Oh man, you must have opened up the chat, because the chat looks real big and large now. I.S.U.P.K. Philly, right? Okay. Like another thing too is, when you dealing with these sisters out here, make sure they don't have another man. A lot of these sisters will tell you they don't have no man and they got a man. And if you just jump all over it, now you in a mess. Well, she mine. Well, she mine, and this, that. It's a lot of madness out here, man. And brother, you are too important right now. You so important right now. Big shout out to all my soldiers in the I.S.U.P.K, man. Your value just went up tenfold. You understand? Because of everything you do. Also, too, man, big shout out to Napatazar And a big shout out to Thabawan. Big shout out to Thabawan out in Cali. Thawaban.
Okay.
Thawaban. Yup. Big shout out to him out there in Cali. You know what I mean? Pulling these stories routinely every week, man. Big shout out to everybody. Big shout out to Yadiah up in here, killing them on TikTok. Big shout out to you, Mara, of course. You know, I can talk about him every week. You know what I'm saying? Right. And all the brothers, man. Big shout out to everybody, man, that's pushing this truth. And because now everything is coming to take you off the zone. They teaching these broads to be like Keke Palmer. They want every black woman to be the same image, whether Keke Palmer is that way or not. Keke Palmer might not even be that way, but they teaching her to be that way. And it was a heavy story, even though it was about Christianity. But it was a heavy story of the rap group Salt and Pepper and how they ended their career and could never get it back. What a lot of people don't know is that Salt and Pepper, when they was on the rise, I think it was Salt's family, one of their families, I think it was Salt, the light-skinned one. Her family was pressuring her. Her family was coming to her like, yo, man, I can't believe you up on stage, man, talking about screwing men and all that. You ain't even that type of person. And she was like, well, this is the entertainment. This is what it requires. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is what sells. And they was pressuring her. One day, man, she just said, you know what? I can't. She told her partner, yo, I can't do this no more, man. And she quit the group. And they didn't know what to do. The whole group. That's why, if you notice, they did a few albums and then they shut down. They tried to revive it later, but they couldn't revive it because she made the right choice. She took a financial loss, but she got her morals. She kept her morals. You know what I'm saying? Because for sure, once you in Esau hands and you done sign that contract, like David Chappelle said, they trying to put you in the dress. They're trying to put you in compromising positions. They're trying to pay you for all manner of evil. This is what they trying to do. This is all the demonic forces, man, and the way they operate to come and get you, take you off your game, destroy you before you get a chance. Now, this brother going to lose his child. You understand? Be paying child support. He might even get a charge. You know what I mean? If a good lawyer would get him charged just to stick it to him in the end. And if he got further frustration, he going to be more angry once he finishes losing this case with her because he didn't have the impulse to say, yo, you know what? This broad is not worth it. Listen, all of us love our children, man. We all love our children. But your children don't come before you. That's a lie. That's a lie being taught all the time in America. Your children are not first. You are first. Because without you, your children ain't got nothing. So if you let yourself fall on your sword, your children gonna be destroyed too. You let yourself fall under a broad like that, guess what? Your children gonna be messed up too. You hold your damn ground. You got to survive first. You the one gonna fight the evil. You the one gonna speak the Lord's word. You the one gonna correct that sister when she wrong. You the one gonna raise up them kids. You the one gonna fix the city. You the one gonna bring the brotherhood together. You the one gonna raise Christ up. You the one gonna lead the whole nation into the kingdom of heaven. Without you, we got nothing. So yes, the kids and children and all that, that's important. But ain't nothing important than you being a certified soldier of YAHWH to the last drop of your goddamn blood, no matter what it takes, man. You understand? That's important. And I feel for the brother, man. You know what I mean? And the sister, too. I don't want to see no sister getting her head knocked in every time because she too ignorant, brainwashed, or on some kind of substance abuse that got her mind twisted where she don't even know how to function in a normal relationship. There's tons of sisters. That's 1 out of 3 that you see every day. You just go out the door. Go out the door, talk to 3. 1 out of them 3 gonna be Keke Palmer without the money, without the fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all in the Black, Latino, Native Indian community. The Native Indian sisters, they being unalived and disappeared all over the place by everybody, abused and misused and all of that. You understand? This our Gaza. I understand they got them kids dying in Gaza. Did you see that hospital they want to bomb? They're trying to warn them. They won't level that hospital. Yeah. That hospital looked like it was huge. It's like 20 stories, middle of Gaza. You understand? At least they got a 20-story hospital. You know what I'm saying? Israelis taking it now, but we ain't got that. They have their own hospital. Remember, ain't no Israelis going over there to get medical attention. Ain't no other ethnic group going over there getting medical attention but Hamas. Maybe a few stragglers from around the world that might be in Hamas, but in the Gaza Strip. That's how they living, man. And that's why they've been as strong as they've been to this point. You understand? Now, the Israelis might take them out, but they might do damage too. But the point is, how we going to do anything without you if you get dragged off like this? And again, like I tell brothers all the time, man, I grew up in some rough projects up in the Bronx. And brother, all I could see is brothers waste their life for a poof. I mean, like that. Brother dead, gone. Still happening to this day. I watched the video the other day, man, was ridiculous. This cat arguing with his woman. He arguing. She like, I don't care, nigga. Get the hell out. I want my keys. Get the hell out. Her brother come over. Now he's standing over here. Her brother standing at the doorway. She in the veranda. You know, I mean, toasting him. He ain't even got a shirt on yet. She get the hell out. That's what I'm talking about. Yada, yada, yada. And listen, as she doing this, her brother, who kind of big and diesel, he getting more aggravated at the brother. Like she putting it out so vitriolic that the brother getting angry. Like he go and clap, clap, punched his brother twice in the face. And the brother had a pistol. Ooh. You saw that joint, right? Yeah. Had his hand on the gap. And I mean, he slipped it out quick. He did. It was like bop, bop, bang, bang. Now that brother's dead. He is in a bag because some bitch was so angry that she had to talk it into violence just to get this brother to leave up out the house. You know what I'm saying? Because I think because he cheated on her or something, right? Something like that was some, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't worth her brother dying. You know what I'm saying? And him possibly getting a charge if he had an illegal weapon and all that. And that's why we got to focus. Our focus got to be on our nation like the other nations are. Them Palestinians, they focus on their nation. They focus. Their wives is trying to be orderly with them. You go out there, you ain't see no naked asses out there on that footage. What you saw out there? Did you see some big booties out there? Did you see some rum shakers and all that? Wasn't none of that going on. Them heads was covered. Them dresses was on. That's a woman trying to work with her man. I ain't telling you to be one of them or be a nun, but that's a sister who's focused. And brothers got to get focused too. I'm not saying they do it better than us. They got a religion that helps them. Like the Lord said he would bless Ishmael's 7 sons. So he gave them a little something. Islam doesn't help the hell out of them. It's the worst thing in the world for us. But it helped them. It's good for them. Let them get it on with their little Islam, bring them together. They building their little nations, yada, 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 till Christ's return. But what about us? How do we fix the thousands of brothers that's in this situation? How do we fix the thousands of sisters in this situation? We do it through these scriptures. We do it through this book. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We get these records right.
That's right.
And then we pass these records to the family, man.
That's right.
And we put that first. It's
That's
sad.
right.
It's another sad story. It's a good story, but another sad story, man. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? After seeing the nasty thing she did, I kind of felt good seeing her up on the couch like that, twisted. But it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I had to push Satan off me like, it ain't right. It still ain't right. You know what I mean?
Right.
It still ain't right. We all want to, toast her up a little bit because of what she did, but it's still not right.
Right.
It's not our path. It's not what we was called to do.
Right.
We gotta prevent that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right, General.
I'm done. Through what?
If I could, General, can I get Proverbs 6:25 and 26? Give Commander YAHANNA a hand, man, on what he said, man. General Muhammad as well. You have to understand, man. One, if if your woman go out there and step out on you, you are required by the Lord. You can never take her back again. It's a done deal, man. She ain't yours no more. No matter how much you love her, you feel for her, you got all these feelings and all that, you got to walk that away. Also, too, what General Muhammad was saying to Commander YAHANNA, when you meet a sister, man, you got to take your time, man. A lot of brothers don't take their time. You support her in what she look like and the things she got to do like, and you just hop right on it, not knowing who she is, man. But the Lord gave us commandments for us to follow. Give me Proverbs, the 6th chapter of Yediah. Give me verse 7 first, I want to say. Is it 7? Hold on. No, that's not 7. Hold on. Proverbs 6. Okay, Proverbs 6, go to verse 20 first. And then 25. So like you said.
Come. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 20.
You brothers better realize this here, man. I'm talking to you. Because really, to be honest, like you control how things go with you and a woman, man. Like she gonna do things to try to entice you. You gotta fight that feeling and fight that lust inside of you, man. And really get to know who she is. You understand me? Know what you're dealing with. Go ahead.
Khan, my son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother.
You see what the Lord is saying? Keep the commandments of the Lord, man. Keep it. That's why it's important for fathers to be in a home with their sons, man. To teach and show them, Lord, listen, don't be making that mistake right there, son. You making a mistake. Don't deal with that. And give them the reasons why. And don't forsake what your father is teaching you, man. Now drop down to verse 25 real fast, 25 and 26.
Khan, sir.
You brothers, and I'm talking just to the brothers right here in particular, man. You know what I mean? Sisters as well, but brothers, this is really focused on you. You got to take your time when you meet these women. Don't be enamored because she look a certain way. That gets you every time. Go ahead.
Khan. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 25. Lust not after her beauty.
Say it again.
Lust not after her beauty in thy heart. Neither let her take thee with her eyelids.
Don't be lusting at because she look a certain way, man. Because she look like she this and she that, and she done looked at you and gave them batted the eyes at you. Now you caught. You caught and all that right there. Now you done. And let me tell you, these females know how to run game. Y'all can't think y'all know game? No, they got game, baby. They see it from the gate. Who they gonna victimize, who they ain't gonna victimize. They know from the gate what's going on. You understand? Almost every sister I've met always say they know when they first meet a cat whether they're gonna give them a tail or not. This is the first meeting. They know, you know what? I might give it to him. Oh, nah, I ain't gonna give it to him. They know from that point on. And they get you with their looks, them eyes. And you be trying to make eye contact with her. She make eye contact with you. And now you are, she got you. You done. The Lord is saying, don't do that, man. Don't lust after the beauty. And her winking her eyes, looking at you a certain way. Read, brother.
Khan. For by means of a whorish woman.
By what?
By means of a whorish woman.
This is what you're going to get. You're going to get a what?
A whorish woman.
Go ahead.
A man is brought to a piece of bread.
A piece of what, brother?
A piece of bread.
A piece of what, brother?
A piece of bread.
Child support is a piece of what, brother?
A piece of bread.
What do y'all call y'all money? My bread. My money, my dough. You done brought down to a piece of bread because you done messed with a whore. You understand me? Take your time when you meet these women, these sisters, man. Take your time, get to know them. Vet them. Like you know how young cats in the world and in the streets, they say, well, we gotta vet this cat right here. He ain't grow up with us. Who this cat right? We gotta vet him. You better vet these sisters the same exact way. Because if not, you gonna be what? Read it again?
Yep. Khan. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread.
Go ahead.
And the adulteress.
And the what?
And the adulteress.
And the what?
And the adulteress.
Go ahead.
Will hunt for the precious life.
Brothers, you the precious life, man. That's right. You understand? You the precious life. You the one who give life in this earth. You the precious life, man. I don't care what nobody say. All she do is carry the baby for 9 months. But you put it inside of her. You precious. That's why whenever somebody conquers somebody, the first thing they do is either kill them off or they humble and destroy the men. Because the men are the precious life. Every nation do it. You better take your time when you meet these women out here, man. Take your time. Vet them. I mean, vet them. And don't make excuses when they do things neither. It is what it is. Slack, that's it. Slack, if I could say.
Damn right. So let's heard there's a little war going on out there. Huh? Little killing going on, huh? Let's get into it.
You died next door to Third World War stories.
Khan, sir. Khan. Gaza's second largest hospitals have ceased to function, health officials say.
Death toll getting ready to get it on. Greg Neal said this: if you don't take your time, it will set you back for a minute. Good point. I'm assuming, Greg, you talking about the Keke Palmer thing. If you don't take your time with handling that situation, you understand? You gonna push stuff back. You know, man. So anyway, yeah. Now the hospitals are cut off, but it's looking like no other nation is joining in. So it looks like they're gonna just go ahead and bomb the hell out of the Palestinians and run them off the land and get ready to set up that canal and them oil wells and get them billions of dollars up out of that thing. Go ahead, please.
Kanawa Khan. The largest hospital in Gaza has effectively ceased to function, and patient deaths there are rising significantly, as the head of the World Health Organization says. Meanwhile, health officials said Gaza's second largest hospital, Al-Quds, was suspending operations from lack of fuel and electricity. Palestinian health officials also said on Sunday that 23 of Gaza's 35 hospitals had stopped working.
23 of their 35 hospitals stopped working. Now, let me ask you all a question. This is the question you need to be asking. Would America do that to us? Would America do that to blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians? I want to ask the black community.
And if I could, is there one black hospital in America?
Yeah. Used to be Harlem Hospital, and that wasn't even owned by black people. You know what I mean? So the question is, will they do that to us? Join me in the chat, man. Oh, all right. Big out the General Kubala. Yes is the answer. You know what I mean? Like, that's the question. Many evil things have been done to us since we've been in this kingdom. And the question is, are many of those evil things going to be done again to us as we begin to move towards waking up as a people? If we start to wake up as a people and come back to who we are we going to be free to do the things that the Lord called us to do? Or is it going to be like ancient Egypt, where they tell us you can't do this and you can't do that? You know what I mean? Jesse Jackson even used to holler about self-determination, like where black people would determine their own goals and their own future. That got killed and squashed to make sure that never happens. You understand? Habibi stir? What do you mean when you say do you, Habibi stir? Oh, man, what do you mean? Okay. Like, that's the question. And let me tell you something else too. This is what I'm about to say is for the white people who are angry over Trump not getting in the White House. This is for the Palestinians who are angry at America for allowing the Israelis to do what they do. The question you have to say to yourself was, when this was happening to black people, did we stand up knowing that it could eventually happen to us? Like, you shaped white America's opinion of how to handle people by allowing us to fend for ourselves and die in these streets. You blamed us. And now you see what we see now. Now everybody sees what we've been saying for many years, that according to the Bible, you know what I'm saying, the white man is a particular being of supernatural persuasion that the Bible speaks of. Now you understand what we're saying. You understand? How do I feel about Muslims? I feel about Muslims like I feel about every nation. Like I said, I think Islam is a fantastic religion for the Arab world. I think it was God that gave the Arabs Islam. But I think also that black people, Latinos, and Native Indians should and could never be Muslims. That the religion of Islam is not for black people. The religion of Islam is not for Latino people. And here's why. Let me give you the short answer. The short answer is this. Islam is a religion that allows any ethnic group to become a Muslim, even white people. You can be white and become a Muslim. You could be Arab and become a Muslim. You could be African and become a Muslim. You could be Oriental. You have Oriental Muslims in China. You have white Muslims in Russia, up in Chechnya. You have Southeast Asian Muslims in the Indonesian islands. you have Muslims all over the world. And I think that Islam has benefited, okay, the Arab world and others. And that's great. But here's the difference. Our people have been in captivity for 400 years. And when you've been in captivity for 400 years, the Palestinians understand this now too. That when you've been in captivity for 400 years, you cannot allow someone else to make you part of a melting pot. You can't be a melting pot because you're fighting for your survival as a people. You're fighting for your individuality as a people. So you can't sit there and allow yourself and your people to just be submerged into another people. That's exactly how our slavery lasted so long. When we fought for civil rights in the 60s, what happened? We got integrated into America. And from that time on, and even before that, from 1865, we were integrated into America. And that integration into America on those levels destroyed us as a people. And so Islam will do just the same thing. You know what I mean?
So can I back you up on what you're saying, unless you want to read your comment?
No, I'll come back to it. Go ahead, Muhammad.
I was going to just back Commander General YAHANNA up on what they're saying. A lot of Arabs in the chat rooms or Christians might not understand, but I believe you will understand this. Imagine a big melting pot, which is what America offers everyone. All races come together as one. Well, in this union, Arabs bring 2,000 years of culture and the pyramids and the Middle East and the Arabic language and algebra and math and geometry and cultures and Muhammad and the Arab culture of the world. And black people bring hip hop. That's it. Christians, white people, you have 200 years of American culture. You got British culture. It goes back 1,000 years. You got the Navy and the military and the British Empire. We bring dancing and the hip hop language. And that is the melting pot. The melting, how can we blend with the people when they bring culture and history and language and military, and we bring what? Dance moves. That's our contribution to the melting pot. We can't melt with anyone until we get something better to offer, right? Until we have a military, a culture, a language of our own. How can we even be allies with anyone when what we have to offer is hip-hop music, which is what we offer everyone on the planet. We offer the Africans, the Afro beats. The Africans come together with us. They have Africa and the culture and the language, and we give them hip-hop music.
And that music is still owned by the so-called Jew.
The music.
You done sign your life away in perpetuity, like what's his name? The comedian again? David Chappelle said.
What's the cat from Hustle and Flow? I know you can find this, Marat, for Commander Juliana. The cat from Hustle and Flow, the light-skinned cat. Terrence Howard. He has a tape that I saved today where he's on the show saying, we got to get rid of the unions. He said for Hustle and Flow, he made $12,000 for that. It's Hard Out Here on a Pimp, that movie. He said that when they went to sign the contracts, the music in the movie, was copyrighted onto DJ, not Terrence Howard, onto the character he played in the movie. So he could never even get royalties because according to the contract, the character made the rap. He said from a movie called, oh my God, you saw this movie about cops beating up black people. Coursing.
Crash, I think.
Crash. He made $6,000. What? Oh yeah, it's on the internet. That's it right there. Brother's playing it right now. That's on the internet. Hey, this is our contribution. The Arabs got Saudi Arabia, the Quran, all the Arab countries, Qatar, United Arab Emirates. We're going to bring and melt together our music that makes us no money and we're poor off of getting. We're going to combine it with the British and the Spanish, and we're going to give them dance songs. Yediah. They're going to, this the part of their melting pot is oil, a military, countries, language, all of geometry and algebra comes from the Arabs. We're going to give them, I guess, pop locking and breakdancing and rapping that we don't even own. Play Terrence Howard real fast.
Can you play that?
If you can.
Then don't do it.
Don't do it. That's him. You can look at it.
Muhammad broke it down though.
That's it. Come.
But let me add. I just want to add something to this brother, right? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Habibi Stir. Habibi Stir, we were not 95% Muslims. And this is a thing that I pray that one day comes out. And I hope you, Habibi Stir, and all the Arab world can both admit it, acknowledge it, and correct it. A great part of the transatlantic slave trade, especially when it came to women, were filling the harems of the Arab sheiks. Our people that came over here in slavery, quite a few of them were learning the religion of Islam because they were under the captivity of Muslims. But the part that the Muslims played in the transatlantic slave trade has always been buried, even though it's in the historical records. That there were almost as much slaves taken into the Arab world than there almost as much as was taken into America. So when will that be acknowledged? You understand? No, it is true. Go check your records. We were never Muslims.
No.
And Islam is a 6th century creation.
Yeah.
Islam was not here that long at all. And it has served the Muslim world well. And I think it's a book that every Arab should learn. Every Arab should learn about Islam. But no black people should ever even pick it up. Like, here's the problem that you, Habibi Star, and this is not to offend you, to just be straight with you. What I'm saying to you is this, that what is good for black people is not necessarily good for the Arab world. And what's good for the Arab world is not necessarily good for us. Like, we have to have our own path. And our path can't be sitting in the shadow of the Arab religion. Our path can't be living in the shadow of the white man's religion. Our path cannot be living in the shadow of the East Indian religion, the Oriental's religion, any of those religions. And Moses taught us so well when we were coming out of slavery. Moses went to God to find not a single god that was in Egypt. Egypt had, if you go study Egypt, Egypt had so many gods. I mean, they was worshiping everything, every animal, every creature, every star in heaven. They had so many gods in Egypt that when you went to court, you could bring your God with you to court. Like, you see how they got you swearing on the Bible? In ancient Egypt, you brought your God and swore on him. You didn't have to bring the Bible. If you was a Muslim, there wasn't Muslims then, but you get my point. You could pray to the God that you was worshiping, because that's how many gods was in Egypt. So my point is this: when Moses came to get us free, he didn't give us any God from Egypt. And that was important. It was important because not having a God from Egypt allowed us to separate from all the gods of Egypt.
Right.
That's what that happened for us. You know what I'm saying? So Habibi Stum, I understand how you feel about it. And especially if you're a Muslim, you probably feel passionate about Islam. Most Muslims do. But allow us who've been slaves for 400 years to be who we want to be. Like, can we be who we want to be? Do we have to be, like, to tell a 400-year generation slave that you got to now be forced to take on a religion of another nationality? You know what it's like, the equivalent of? It's the equivalent of telling all the Jews in the world that they have to move back to Germany and live under Nazi rule and work it out and become friends and love one another and be a melting pot. Like, that's the equivalent. Only somebody who doesn't know better would join Islam if he were black or Latino, because he doesn't realize that it's equivalent to joining the Nazi party if you're a white Jew. It's the same thing. And so to us, we who are awake and understand, know how can we become part of white Christianity when they enslaved and tortured us? How can we become a part of Islam when all of our daughters were sold into the harems of the sheiks, and they have records of it? There's plenty of records of it. You can go all the way back and get all those records of it. So allow us to be us. Like, everybody has tried to fix us. Everybody has tried to have a solution. There's talk shows and radio shows and podcasts all about the black experience and what black people going through. We marching. We got all kind of civil rights movements. We got this. We got what's the 1911 Project. We tearing down statues. We marching Black Lives Matter. We done did it all. And none of it has worked. Not none. Martin Luther King been dead 50 years. 50 years. And ain't nothing changed. But one thing will change. Us separating from you and choosing the God of our fathers.
That's right.
Of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's
in
right.
the way we see fit to do so. So please enjoy yours and we'll enjoy ours. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Rebecca. Let's sit on that. Go ahead, you done. Wait, apocryphatic minister, you are right. Listen, apocryphatic minister, you are correct. They're not going to do that. But here's what, remember the prophecy that the Muslims are not going to just allow black people to be who they are. That's what apocryphatic minister is saying. I believe that's what you're saying. Apocryphatic minister, Slack, if I mispronounce your name, correct me if I'm wrong. But what I'm saying to you is this. That's a good point. But here's the thing. All the prophets prophesied to our people, and we did not listen, including Christ. Our job in the end is to do it one more time, and they're going to listen. They're going to get up out of here. I know what you're talking about, because Lord knows we done had to go head to head up here with Muslims and all that to get them to understand that we have to be who we are. And once we realize that, once we go to the Lord and say as a people, Lord, listen, tell us which way you want us to go, and we will follow it. Now you do that, and you've cut a deal with the almighty power, and you're going to find the truth, and it'll be I.S.U.P.K, and you'll be shocked because you'll think it was supposed to be some suit-wearing organization.
Right.
And you'll find out you're wrong. But too bad. You found the truth. Hallelujah and all that good stuff. I'm done. Go ahead, y'all.
Damn right, sir.
Damn right.
Khan, Putin ally threatens to obliterate NATO countries with nuclear weapons.
Go ahead.
Khan, sir. Vladimir Putin ally threatens to obliterate NATO countries with nuclear weapons.
Is he talking about Turkey? Read.
Khan, sir. Vladimir Sokolov, a prominent Russian TV host and noted propagandist for Russian President Vladimir Putin, recently opined that Russia would deploy nuclear weapons right away in the event of escalating conflict with members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO.
They know that the world is heating up, and we know it too. I'm gonna pass it, y'all. They know that the world's heating up, and so do we. Thank the Lord, because now the world, even though the world is going through these pains, the world is going to be a paradise like you've never seen before once all of this is over with. Turkey just cut off Israel from oil. They just shut them off from oil from Turkey, which is big time. That's that Gog and Magog being turned back. The Russians, they calling the Ukraine, the experts are saying the Ukraine war is lost. Putin won the Ukraine war, and the U.S. is trying its best to dig it up out the ground, but that it's a done deal. Nobody is yet to see really what the Palestinians are going to do. Now that they went and bumped their head by going over there on the 7th, now everybody's waiting around to see now what you're going to do, because the Israelis have gone in, but many countries have not. Really, it's only Turkey cut the oil off, Egypt cut the oil off, and I believe they cut their oil, I'm not sure. And Yemen is the only one that actually declared war on it. So really, nothing is going on. We'll have to see if it gets hot and it goes on, or if it'll die down for a while and go on. One side is in death fear that the Israelis will dig that canal, get that oil, and become independent from everybody else. The United States wants it bad because it means that they got a strategic partner in the Middle East to control all the oil, which is the only reason all this beef is going on, which is so amazing. The Most High put all the oil outside of Israel. Everybody got the oil except them. Except for this part of Gaza that they finally found. So everybody's waiting. If they prevent them from getting the oil, it could be bad. Biden just went over there to meet with the Chinese president because, of course, China is saying, if you go in here and take control of this oil, we're going to have a problem. You can't go in here and get this oil. So they're going to have an issue on both sides. You going to say something? Okay, they're going to have an issue on both sides. Give me some more, you died. Or unless y'all want to chime in. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got another one? On Third World War? Come on with it. Okay.
Florida lawmaker who shouted all of them in response to question about when Israel will have killed enough Palestinians is now apologizing after receiving real threats. Angie Nixon tapped her colleagues earlier to stand with her and calling for a ceasefire in the wake of the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. We are at 10,000 dead. How many will be enough? Said a Jacksonville Democrat who sponsored proposal related to her caused the shutdown of 104 to 2.
But now, let me stop you for a second. Is that her up on the screen?
Concert.
Okay, now that's good. But did you all hear the black state congresswoman who went crazy in the chamber over the Palestinians? Now, Habibi, I hope you're still listening. I hope you're still with us. Because this state legislator, I hope you can find this, you died. She went crazy because because of the Palestinian situation. She was shouting and screaming and saying how much, and as she's shouting and screaming and saying how many dead is enough, somebody in her constituency said all of them.
I heard it.
Say, huh? Okay, that was a black woman that did that. I don't know who this picture is. You sure that's because the one I'm talking about is a black woman. Unless is that a black woman? I can't tell. It looked like an Edomite.
Can we play it?
No, that's not her. That's not her. Anybody got that story out there, please send it over to me so I can show her Bibi's our problem. Because this sister was making a tumult, but meanwhile, she's making a tumult about the Palestinians. We got to make a tumult about us. And listen, and the Palestinians should chastise themselves. They should be saying, look, we should have stood with black people. We should have stood with the Latinos when they were putting them in cages, throwing them out the country. Like, boy, imagine the turn of events in America had 250,000 Palestinians and Arabs come out with their Palestinian flags and said to Joe Biden, oh, hell no, you will not put these beautiful Latino babies in cages. Like, the problem with black people is our love has been taken for granted. Latinos and Native Indians, people take our love for granted. They automatically assume that we should love, but they don't feel like they have to love. What that would have been like if 250,000 Palestinians with their flags had been on the White House lawn saying, hell no to putting our babies in cages. It's not her. It's not her. This is a black woman. I believe she's a state representative. You got it?
It was the same person that had the video in that article that was in the story, but we have it now, sir.
You have the video? Okay, with the black woman in it. Oh, now there she goes. And we play this video. Is this a news article? What is it on?
Newsweek.
It's on Newsweek? I think we can roll that one. Y'all got to see her. Now, Habibi Stir, this is what I want you to see, man. Okay? I want Habibi Stir and everybody watching this show to see the passion our sister has given to the Palestinian cause. And I want you to find me a tape of the Palestinians giving this kind of passionate speech to our suffering. This is our problem. We got to give this to us before we give it to somebody else. We got to feel the 10,000 deaths we suffer every year in America because of police brutality and gun violence before we can cry for the 10,000 over there. I'm not taking away from their suffering. They suffered. Both sides are suffering. They've been fighting. Them two been fighting since 1948, since the day Israel declared that place, a country. If you go see how they living in Hebron, them Palestinians is living in Hebron like absolutely like they living in Hebron like Alabama in 1863. Yeah. That's how they living in Hebron. I mean, they being treated, brother, with absolute unadulterated terror in Hebron right now, and been long before this incident jumped off. So I know they're going through a lot. But there was no compassion for Black people and Latino people and Native Indian people.
Right.
And I got to see some to give some. You understand? I don't love no woman that don't love me. If she can't love me, then why am I trying to love her?
Right.
If you don't like me, it's not a problem. I just don't like you either. Don't expect me to like you and love you and you ain't loving me. You understand? I take you out to a steak dinner. Don't act crazy when I tell you grab me a cup of coffee. What you tripping? You'll never go out with me again, bitch. It'll never happen. I just put a Chris Ruth in your ass. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I done upped your healthcare program just with the protein alone. And I say, give me a cup of coffee. You acting funny. You flaking and funny. A man, they can get me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's love. But if you don't show us none, what do you want, man? What do you want? Them babies was in cages. Everybody saw it. We didn't even know there was this many Arabs and Palestinians united like this in America until the Palestinian cause came up. And it's a real cause. I'm not dismissing it. But so was ours.
That's right.
So was ours. And we got to get focused. Yep. There's got to be a priority list here. And the priority list is us on top. We're going to get ready to get out of here, but I'm going to play this tape. And I'm going to make one more statement on it unless the brothers jump in, and then I'm rolling. Go ahead.
And dead Palestinians, how many will be enough? I also, one of my colleagues just said all of them.
Look, broke her heart.
Said all of them. One of my colleagues also stated that this is going to dry up their fundraising if we vote on this resolution.
Do you hear that? Pause that for a second. Did you hear what she just said? It will dry up our fundraising, meaning if we go against the so-called Jew, we will lose our money and lose our position, which shows you who owns their seats.
That's right.
Which is why they're not angry at her like her cause is wrong. They ain't angry at her. What they should be angry at her is not being that passionate about causes for Black people. Now, wait a minute. Hold it now. If the resolution for the Palestinians will dry up their funding by the white Jews, what happens if a resolution comes up for Black people that the Jews don't like?
We don't get it.
That resolution ain't even gonna make the table, let alone a passionate speech by a representative. Brother, we got to set priorities. And the Most High in Christ in this nation and identity of ours has to be first. Has to be top of the list. Hey, join us every week, man. We do it up live every Monday night right here in the I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K.com is the website. Support us. Pay your tithes. Stay up in this truth. Want to thank the heavy hitters in the building. General Muhammad, General Makala, General Hazayan, and the main men up in here holding us down. Officer Marah, Officer Yadiah, all the other Officer Ibad, everybody holding us down. Doing it like we do. See y'all next time live on the UPK fam. Shalom.
Yeah. I believe in the truth. The truth made me a man. And I raised my son in Israelite customs. I gave him scriptures, but I told him not to teach. He finds an Israelite group, not one West. Starts going to classes with them. And they're staying out late. And I didn't protest. 2 months ago, they tried taking him to their camp spot. They make him buy strong drink, and they try to make him teach. Respectfully, he declined, and he kept his honor. So they beat him like an animal. When I went to the hospital, his nose is broken. His jaw's wired shut. He couldn't even weep through the pain. But I wept. Why did I weep? Because he's the future of my house. A dutiful son. And I will never believe in the truth again. So I go to the Purple Police like a good Israelite. Because these are the men I was bringing to counsel. And they tell me there's nothing they can do because he's an unrepentant Israelite. An unrepentant Israelite. They got raised up that very day. And I stand in the congregation like a fool. So I told my rib for justice. We go to the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA.
So why do you go to them first and don't come to me?
What do you want from me? Tell me anything. Just do what I beg you to do.
What is that? That I cannot do.
I will give you anything you ask.
We've known each other for many years. And it's the first time you came to me for counsel or help. Can't remember the last time you invited us to your house for a feast day. Even though my wife made your son's last Passover call. Let's be real. You never wanted my friendship. You were afraid to be one West.
I wasn't ready to put on all black.
I understand. But you found peace in the world. And you made money, good money, bought a house, and you went to the fake Israelite group and thought you didn't need us. But now you come to me saying, the bar, give me justice. But you don't even ask for respect or my friendship. You don't even think to call me captain. Instead, you come to the school on a Sabbath day and ask me to unalive for money.
I asked for justice.
That's not justice. Your son is still alive.
Make them suffer then, as he suffers. How much should I pay you?
then Israel. Why do you disrespect me? Don't you know that if you would have came into the school a lot sooner, that the Lord would have destroyed those men that harmed your son? You would have been honorable, man. Your enemies would have been the Lord's enemies, and they would have feared you.
Be my teacher. You can't.
That's the why. There will be no violence. But if you want to be a trooper, make sure you start wearing all black. That's boots, pants, headband, or scarf. And make sure you pay your tithe.
Come.
All right? So, also, make sure that you come to the Lord's 55th annual Passover by the I.S.U.P.K. That's in Durham, North Carolina. $200 an adult. Kids are free. All right? With that, shalom.